Have you ever felt invisible? Like everyone else is laughing, talking, belonging, and you're just there, watching from the outside. Maybe you've wished people would notice you more, pay attention, even just call your name. Today's story is about a boy who felt exactly that, but the way he tried to fix it, well, it changed everything. Once upon a time, there was a young shepherd boy. Every morning, he took his sheep up a lonely hill. Every evening, he brought them back down. It was the same path, the same sheep, and the same heavy silence every single day. From the hilltop, he could see the village below. He saw people working together, talking, laughing, living their lives. And he thought, they're all together, and I'm all alone. Day after day, a deep boredom grew inside him, mixing with his loneliness until it felt unbearable. Then one afternoon, he got an idea. It wasn't a good idea, but to him, it was an exciting one. He ran to the edge of the hill, took a deep breath, and screamed, "Help! Help! There's a wolf. It's chasing the sheep. Please help." Down in the village, the people heard his desperate cries. They dropped their tools and ran up the hill as fast as they could, their hearts pounding, ready to fight off a predator and save the flock. But when they reached the top, panting and out of breath, there was no wolf. The sheep were calmly eating grass. The boy burst into laughter. "I fooled you," he shouted, delighted. The villagers were not amused. "You silly boy," one of them said, shaking his head. "Don't cry wolf when there is no wolf." They walked back down the hill, angry, embarrassed, and annoyed. But the boy felt something else entirely. He felt a rush of excitement. For the first time, in a long time, everyone had paid attention to him. The next day, the silence returned, and so did the boredom. The temptation was too strong to resist. Once again, he ran to the edge of the hill and screamed, "Wolf! Wolf! Please help!" And once again, the kind-hearted villagers ran to his aid. And once again, there was nothing. This time, they were furious. "This isn't a game," they warned him sternly. "One day, you will regret this." But the boy just smiled. He didn't see the danger in his actions. He only saw the fun. A few days passed. The sun was warm, and the boy was lying under a tree, half asleep. Suddenly, the peaceful scene was shattered. The sheep began to bleat in terror and scatter in every direction. He jumped to his feet, and his blood ran cold. This time, there was a wolf. A real hungry wolf, moving swiftly toward the flock. Pure fear rushed through him. His heart hammered against his ribs. He ran to the edge of the hill and screamed louder than he ever had before. "Help! Please help! There's a wolf. It's real this time. I swear it." Down in the village, the people heard him. But this time, they didn't move. They just looked at each other and sighed. "He's just trying to fool us again," they said, and went back to their work. The boy kept screaming, his voice cracking with desperation. Tears streamed down his face, but no one came. All he could do was watch in horror as the wolf attacked his flock. One sheep, then another, taken. He was completely, utterly alone. As the sun began to set, the boy still hadn't returned. The villagers grew concerned and finally decided to climb the hill. They found him sitting on the ground, surrounded by the scattered remains of his flock, crying silently. "The wolf! It was real," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I told the truth. Why didn't you come?" An old villager sat beside him and said quietly, "Nobody believes a liar, even when he's telling the truth." That sentence stayed with the boy for the rest of his life, because in that moment, he understood something painful and profound. Trust is like a fragile glass, built slowly, piece by piece, but it can be shattered in an instant. You can shout the truth with all your might, but if your words have been empty before, they lose their power. The boy never told a lie again. Not because he was afraid of being punished. but because he had felt the crushing weight of not being believed when it mattered most. And that feeling is heavier than any punishment. So here's a question for all of us. Have you ever told a small lie? Maybe just for a little attention? Just for fun? Just because it seemed harmless at the time? It might feel small in the moment, but every lie, no matter how tiny, quietly chips away at the foundation of trust. And trust is everything. A reputation for honesty can take years to build, but a single lie can bring it all crashing down in seconds. Next time you're tempted to bend the truth, remember the shepherd boy. Because sometimes the biggest loss isn't what the wolf takes. It's the power and value your own words lose. The real question is, will people believe you when it truly matters? Thanks for watching.